Good evening, folks, and welcome to another edition of Ice Wolves Insider.
And it's Liam Brennan, the hat-trick goal, wins the Credit Union Cup for the LaGrange Ice Wolves.
Well, tonight's program, we'll be chatting with a couple of new additions to the squad. That would be Stephen Cook and Michael Verrett. Later in the program, we'll chat with Ice Wolves head coach Bob Beattie. And then on our usual From the Stand segment, we'll be talking with Ice Wolves followers Kevin Radloff, Curtis Skalicki, and Mike Layton. Should be a great show. We'll see you right back. Welcome back to Ice Wolves Insider, and we're joined now by a couple of new Ice Wolves, both defensemen, and actually both 19 as it turns out. That would be Stephen Cook and Michael Verrett. Gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
All right. So maybe we'll start with talking about how each of you arrived here in LaGrange, how you ended up with the team. We'll start with you there, Michael.
Yep.
How exactly did this work out for you?
Well, at the beginning of the year, I was playing with the team back home, junior AAA, and then I left the team. It was just not the right fit for me. And then, I know a guy on the team, Justin Ducharme. He's from where I'm from. We're from the same place, so he told me that they might need defensemen here. So I talked with Bob, and here I am.
Wow. And I understand that actually you've also got a background in you've played some prep school hockey in the States as well, and actually you've got a connection here with Stephen here as well, eh?
Yeah, I played for 2 years at Hotchkiss in Connecticut, and then I graduated last year from high school, and we were pretty big rivals actually.
All right, so Stephen, how did you end up here in LaGrange?
Before this, I was playing in the North American League in the States, and I was on a couple teams in that league, but my last team, we weren't doing so good. We were in last place, so I wanted to get out of there. And I was originally supposed to go to Melfort, and that fell through, so I was left without a team. And I made some phone calls, and I ended up here.
See, that's amazing because, of course, as you know, the Mustangs are chasing Ice Wolves in the standings, so this might end up being a really interesting turn of events for both teams here. How has the transition been to life in LaGrange? Obviously, this is a remote community, and you guys spend time in the States and so forth. How have you found the transition to this team and to this community? I'll start with you there, Michael.
Well, obviously, it's a smaller city, but I like it. We focus on hockey here, and I like the team. I like the place. I like it so far.
Good stuff. Stephen?
Yeah, I'm used to the small town. Our prep schools are both, they were located in a small town, so, and the guys have been really, really nice, and everyone helps you transition, so everything's been really good.
Good stuff. Let's talk about what you guys each bring to the team. What style of play fans can see from you. I think some of the fans have seen you, Stephen, already play in at least one home game, I believe, but Michael, obviously you haven't made your debut yet at home. So we'll start with you there, Stephen. What kind of game do you bring to the Ice Wolves?
I play more defensively. I like to play big, get a couple of big hits, block shots. So I play more defensively.
All right, and Michael, your style of game?
I have a pretty good vision of the ice. I would say I can make good passes, and then I can create some offense too once in a while. But I'm pretty safe on defense too, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So you guys have obviously arrived at a time when this team happens to be doing pretty well, and maybe you guys have been told about some of the history here too, that this is basically unprecedented levels for the regular season for this franchise. Maybe talk about how the team has been playing recently. Start with you there, Stephen. How have you seen the team play in recent games? What's I guess got the wins for you guys lately?
We've been playing really good. We were all excited about getting that franchise record with the wins, but we know Melfort's behind us and they're close, so we know we just got to keep winning.
Mm-hmm. And Michael, what do you see as the keys to the recent success for the team?
Yeah, like Steve just said, the team has been playing pretty good lately. So I mean, our goalies did pretty well too in the last 3 games, and we're scoring goals. I mean, yeah, we just beat the team, the franchise record for wins, so everyone was happy about that.
Yeah, good stuff. Stephen, recent game in North Battleford, basically you came to blows with one of the North Stars there, and
Yeah.
I think it had something to do with the whole Justin Ducharme injury and what happened to him. Maybe kind of explain what happened in that game and why you decided to take on that guy.
I mean, he got injured and he got hit along the boards, hurt his knee pretty bad. So, I mean, I had to get that guy back, and we just ran into each other after the whistle. And we decided to go.
And it sounds like, by all accounts, things went your way in the ensuing tussle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see that as part of your role in the team to actually like stand up for some of your teammates
Yeah.
now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. All right, so coming up, you guys have, as it turns out, a lot of home games coming up. I think 8 out of your next 10 are on home ice, and 5 of your next 10 are against this team's geographical rivals, the Flin Flon Bombers. What has been said around, I guess, the dressing room, maybe by the coaches, as you head into this stretch here of the next 10 games? Anything at all? I'll start with you there, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, like the playoffs are coming, so obviously like we have to get some wins too and like get going to the playoffs. And we're excited to play like here, yeah, like in front of our fans. So that should help us out.
Good stuff. Stephen, you get the final word there.
Like I said before, we just gotta keep winning and stay out in front. And we got 5 games against Flin Flon, and you know we beat them, so we definitely should be able to make those 5 games 5 wins, and we just got to keep winning.
All right. Well, Stephen, Michael, thanks very much for being on the program. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. If you're just joining us, this is Ice Wolves Insider, and we've been chatting with Ice Wolves newcomer Stephen Cook and Michael Verrett. We'll be right back with a chat with the coach.
Wetlands improve water quality and quantity and provide recreational opportunities, but they're disappearing fast. We're doing something about it. Become a member today and help conserve Canada's wetlands. Ducks Unlimited Canada, active by nature.
Welcome back to Ice Wolves Insider. This time we'll be chatting with Ice Wolves head coach Bob Beattie. Bob, welcome again to the program.
Thanks a lot, Kelly.
Yeah. So obviously, good times around the Ice Wolves franchise here. Made some history over the weekend. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's talk about, I guess, your recent series of games. Most of them have been wins. You're on a 4-game winning streak. Let's just talk about what you think you guys have been doing that has really worked for you. Why you guys have been on the good side of some pretty close encounters with some of the other teams there.
Well, I don't think we're doing anything new. I think we're executing well enough to win. It's a tough stretch. You play 6 games in 8 nights, and to get 5 wins in this league at this time of the year is an accomplishment. We have won 7 out of 8 games since the Christmas break, and that certainly helps us in the standings. And we've got 15 games left to put ourselves ahead of the pack, and it's not an easy task. The games are tougher at this time of the year, and they continue to get tougher as we get further into the schedule.
Now, obviously, you want to win, every game. But if you put maybe a little bit more importance in some of the games against your conference rivals recently, knowing that maybe down the road you might be facing them in the playoffs there?
Well, we just want to establish some consistency to our game and get the new players on the same page as well. And to be honest, we've got a lot of improving to do. we've played well enough to win, but I certainly don't think we're peaking by any stretch of the imagination.
If you don't mind, could you get into specifics about what it is that you'd like to maybe see improve a bit there?
Well, you know, a lot of things. You know, I don't know how long we have.
Right.
You know, the program's. I think this segment's only about 10 minutes.
Right.
So you know, there. You know, our power play could be sharper. You know, our positional play in our own end, our neutral zone forecheck could be a little bit better. We could finish a lot more checks on the forecheck and direct the attack to where we want it to go, rather than you know, have them get the mid-ice corridor, and you know, it's a little harder to defend. But we, you know, without boring most of the people that are going to watch this, you know, we just have to improve in all areas.
Okay. Now you made the decision to, I guess, make some additions to a team that was already doing quite well. You've added Nick Keller and Stephen Cook and Michael Verrett. Maybe talk about why you made those changes and what each of those guys brings to the team.
Well, anytime you have an opportunity to make your team better and deeper, you take advantage of it. I think with Stephen Cook, we acquired him just over the Christmas break, you know, just to add some size and you know, presence to our blue line. And you know, we you know, fortunately, I think he's going to add what we expected, and you know, he needs to get adjusted to the league a little bit, but he's certainly been a very capable player for us, you know, in 4 or 5 games that he has played. With Michael Verrett, it was basically a situation where Michael had shown some interest in coming out, and it was a sight unseen scenario that he happened to be playing some pond hockey with Justin Ducharme over the Christmas break. Wanted to come out west and give it a try, and we said, why not? You know, and it's turned out great. I mean, he's only played 1 game, but I can see Michael definitely being a top 4 defenseman in our league. You know, from the short time that he's been here, he does a lot of things right, and he's a very smart and steady player. He's got good puck skills. He skates well. You know, he angles well. He keeps a good gap, and he certainly, for not playing for at least 3 months, was outstanding in the game against Humboldt. With the addition of Nick Keller, we really didn't have any intentions of adding a 10th, 20-year-old, but coming back from Estevan Sunday night, coach from Swan River had contacted me to see if we had an interest in him. And obviously, he's a player that you know, can certainly add some depth. He's a very dependable hockey player. He's got great experience. He's played in the Royal Bank Cup with Humboldt 2 years ago. And, you know, known to be a very good, solid team player and a good playoff performer. So, you know, when we had the opportunity to add Nick, you know, we took advantage of it.
Other teams have tried this, and sometimes it's really worked out, sometimes it hasn't. Why do you think it's going to work out here? Do you think you got the group of 20-year-olds that will be able to adjust to, you know, obviously occasionally one of them sitting, that sort of thing, or
well,
how do you intend to juggle that whole situation?
Well, we called all our 20-year-olds in the night of the 10th and told them that what we were doing or had done, and you know, wanted to make sure everybody was on the same page, and I think they all want to win. It's not an ideal scenario, but it does give us depth and it gives us experience, and I think it will help us win. And it certainly, you know, was at cost that isn't going to put our team in jeopardy next year. And it was a situation we felt we had to take advantage of. We look at last year's playoff run. We lost Travis Gordon against Flin Flon. We could have used another 20-year-old there. With 15 games left, and last year we played 31 playoff games. There's, out of 9 guys, there's certainly a very good likelihood that one of them will need a rest, whether it be due to injury or fatigue or performance. And that puts a little bit of pressure on a group of 20-year-olds to perform. If they're needing a rest, then they'll take a rest. And we had 20-year-olds that we didn't utilize, in the playoffs last year, because of injury or performance. And I think it just provides a lot more depth, and certainly with. If you get an injury to a player like Justin Ducharme, you're sure that there's some interchangeability with our lineup, and we can still go out and win some hockey games.
Yeah. On that note, I know we don't really know a whole lot. It's really early on the Justin Ducharme front, but obviously, however long he's out, that's going to be, like, I'm assuming, a fairly significant loss for you because he's been playing pretty well.
He's been playing extremely well, and I certainly, feel for him. We're going to have him evaluated. It's being assessed tomorrow morning, and we'll know more after that. But with the suspension that he got and the missing 16 games, due to questionable circumstances, you might say, it definitely puts a damper on his season. If this injury is keeping him out for any length of time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, just finally, Bob, obviously during your time here, you've witnessed a lot of franchise firsts, a lot of great moments, obviously, with the franchise, and this past weekend was another one, 30th victory of the season. That is a franchise high for the Ice Wolves in their 13 seasons. Maybe just talk about where that ranks. Was that at all significant for you and the guys getting that win there?
Yeah, I think it was. We've had some pretty good hockey teams over the last 6 years. I think we've hit the 29 mark 3 times, and we were never able to get 30. And this year is, we're fortunate enough to get 30 wins with 15 games left to go in the season, and it's certainly a benchmark and an accomplishment that we take a lot of pride in. But, it is only the first step. It's certainly nothing that we're going to rest on, and we want to get as many wins as we can. Not only just set a record, but we need to. Establish ourselves down the stretch and prepare ourselves for the playoffs.
Right. Well, Bob, congratulations on that, and thanks very much for being on the program.
Thanks a lot, Kelly.
All right. Just joining us, this is Ice Wolves Insider, and we've been talking with Ice Wolves head coach Bob Beattie. We'll be right back with From the Stands.
Some people think wetlands are wastelands. Actually, marshes and other wetlands are important ecosystems, home to an amazing diversity of wildlife. Without them, some species would disappear. We would suffer too, since wetlands help purify and control the levels of our water. Many of these fragile areas are being lost to development, so let's do what we can to protect wetlands. To learn more, visit hww.ca.
Welcome back to Ice Wolves Insider, and it's now time for our usual From the Stand segment. This is where we talk to Ice Wolves followers, and tonight on the program we're joined by Ice Wolves fans Mike Layton, Curtis Galicki, and Kevin Radloff. Gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Thanks, glad to be here.
All right. So these are heady times for the Ice Wolves and their followers. Obviously, over the weekend, they got the 30th victory, which is a franchise high for the team. We'll start there. How significant do you see that mark for the Ice Wolves? I'll start with you there, Curtis.
Well, we still got 25% of the season left, so we're going to probably get close to 40 wins. I mean, that's a big mark that's keeping us in pace with the rest of the country. We're 10th in the nation. Bonus.
Yeah, Mike, what do you think? Is this a pretty significant milestone there?
11 years in the season, 11 years for the franchise, and to keep coming up with goals like that and progressing as a franchise, can only help hopefully put more fans in the seats.
Yeah, Kevin, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's great if we can destroy a record like that this early and keep it rolling. That just means we're ahead of everybody else in the league. So a W is a W, so it's good.
Yeah. Now, for a while, it looked like heading into the trade deadline, it looked like the Ice Wolves were going to be content to basically just kind of tweak. And some people would say that's basically what they did. After watching the other teams do quite a bit, especially Melfort and Humboldt and Yorkton. As it turns out, they ended up making a fairly significant trade, bringing in Nick Keller, an extra 20-year-old, as well as bringing in Stephen Cook and Michael Brett there. What do you guys think about the decision to bring in that extra 20-year-old? We've heard the explanation that he became available, and obviously Bob wants him for depth and that sort of thing. But what do you guys think about that, knowing that they're going to have to juggle the whole 20-year-old situation for the rest of the year, including playoffs? It doesn't go away, really. I'll start with you there, Mike.
Well, I think we saw it last year when we started heading down the RBC run. Losing 20-year-old veteran presence, late in the playoffs definitely had its toll on us come the RBC. So, you can't go wrong. You got to expect there's going to be injuries. So, just another great move by Bob, I think.
All right, Kevin.
If you're a man down, then you know you're covered. You might not make a 20-year-old happy sitting him who's got a few years in the league, but I think all the guys know what it takes. That's just something they have to do to win. And I don't think there's anything but winning in their minds right now. And I think they do anything for each other, and I don't think it's a big deal at all. And I think we know Keller is a gritty, hard-working little guy, and I think he's got no stopping his game either. So I think it's definitely a great move.
Curtis, what do you think of the move?
Oh, well, first of all, we didn't give up a lot. I mean, sure, we lost Zane on this whole trade, the way it all worked out, but he didn't give up a lot. So, I mean, it's a good trade. Again, last year we played 20-some-odd games in the playoffs. I mean, that's a full half a season. Your 20-year-olds aren't going to stay completely healthy, and this allows you to pull them in and out, little tweaks here and there to keep them all healthy and fresh and rotated. So, great move by Bob. When everybody was panicking and dropping the guns and trying to get the big, he just one little tweak makes us that much better.
All right. There's been some discussion on some online fan forums and such about the production of the top line lately on the Ice Wolves. So obviously they've been lights out all season. Not quite at the pace that they were, say, maybe in November. And then again, who could blame them, I guess. But there's been some theories that perhaps maybe the league is starting to figure out how to contain or try to contain this line. What do you guys think about that theory? Do you think that's actually happening, or is there something else? I'll start with you there, Mike.
Oh, for sure. You go through a bunch of games and play a team so many times, you're bound to key on certain things, and I think we saw it especially against Battleford last week that they were hitting Cray at every opportunity, and it obviously it's working, but there's a lot of talent on that line, and okay, they might not be averaging 2 points a game, but and we have other lines, so they can key on them. And hopefully the other lines just pick it up. Yeah.
Kevin, your thoughts on that whole discussion?
I think that just opens the door a lot for secondary scoring if they're going to try to key in on that line that much. I think we saw the Graham Samaric really spark it up here, and some other Pillar's got his old line mate Keller, and he's got Enns and Shuey, and there's just so many guys that can score. And you can't cover all three of the top line all night. They're still going to score anyway, so they're just going to get tired trying.
Curtis, your thoughts on that?
Pick your poison. Sure, you stop the one line. You can't stop them on the power play, and we even put in power play points. But the teams are playing playoff hockey right now, trying to jockey for position, so you're not going to get those 9-2 games, 9-7 games. We're winning 3-2s and 2-1s, and the W's are W's. So you know what? the team knows how to win those tight games, and they're not putting a lot of points on from the big line. But our fourth line is popping in points and contributing, and you know, probably one of the best fourth lines in the league. So hey, good on Bob. I mean, he's got the team rolling.
Let's talk about the schedule coming up here. Really interesting schedule. I think they've got something like 8 of the next 10 are on home ice. Seem to play Flin Flon quite a bit coming up. What do you guys see happening over the next 15 games or so to wrap up the regular season? How do you think it shakes down for the Wolves in terms of their quest to finish in first in their conference and in the league? I'll start with you there, Mike.
Well, I think the key is, you know, we're first place, and we do have a heavily favored schedule with 10 of our last 15 games at home and 10 of our last 15 games against sub 500 clubs. So I think the key is to not maybe get a little complacent and keep that hard work ethic, and you know, going forward towards the playoffs, we definitely don't want to have too many easy games. So I think that's what I'd be looking for right now is you know, make sure that we keep the intensity up and don't take anything for granted.
Yeah, Kevin, what do you see happening down the stretch for this team?
I see them being able to win 11 or 12 out of the 16. There shouldn't be any problem with that. I want to see a pennant in the roof. I want to see the league champion for the regular season up there. So I think they want to see it too. So I don't think they're going to let off the pedal. And if they lose a couple here and there, I'd like to see them finish off with the wins and go right into the playoffs with some strong games.
Yeah, Curtis, final word to you.
Just keep healthy going in. I mean, last year Bob threw everybody in the lineup, rotated his goalies, knew we were going to finish fourth. Is it a big thing to finish first? Yeah, it's always nice, but I'd rather see us completely healthy going into the playoffs and making that deep run, as opposed to giving everything up like Humboldt and Weyburn did last year, and it cost them. So you know what? It's against one of those things that you know, Miles is going to get a few more games going down the stretch too. I mean, his goals against is third best in the league if he had enough minutes. So I mean, you know, great move on Bob not to go out and try and make a big trade for another reliable goalie. I think we've got one in Miles, and he's here for another 2 years. So the team looks good. 12-3, 13-2, finishing off the season. We have a head-to-head against Melfort, so that's probably going to determine first, second, I would think, but yeah, looks good.
Should be interesting. Gentlemen, welcome. Thank you for being on the program. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks.
All right, if you're just joining us, this is Ice Wolves Insider and From the Stands, and we'll be right back to wrap things up. Well, that's all the time we have for this evening's edition of Ice Wolves Insider. I want to thank our special guests this evening. That would be Ice Wolves head coach Bob Beattie, as well as Ice Wolves players Stephen Cook and Michael Verrett, and of course our fans. And from the stands, Curtis Skolicki, Kevin Radloff, and Mike Layton. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. We'll see you next week.